Hi, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are in the world. It's Andrew and Claire here from Cafe Success, and we're here with an old friend, Matt Plapp from...
Not so old, but really good friend.
If you remember, we were interviewed by Matt a few years ago, probably pre-pandemic.
Yep.
He reached out to us and loved our book. So we thought we'd do the same, because Matt has sent us a copy of his new book, which is so hot off the press, we've had to print it. We have to print it off, because there we are. So we had a preview copy before it was officially printed. So, and we had to look at it, and we love it, Matt. You've been really, really busy. We've been watching your stuff on Instagram, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, and
on YouTube, everything. You're everywhere.
I just don't know how you get the time to do it. So we love, as you probably know by following us, we follow the passion around marketing independent coffee shops and businesses, and we get frustrated. And I can tell from your book that there's an element of frustration that people aren't doing enough.
Yep.
And is it particularly around sort of taking their business in their own hands? They're not putting food on the table effectively. They're independent owners, and they just can't see the wood from the trees. A lot of them. Am I right in? Is that the same in the States?
No, it's the same here. For me, what really gets my attention is, I go back to my marketing career started in 1999, and back then in the States, most places, you didn't have the internet, you didn't have text messaging, email wasn't really popular, especially on a business aspect. So if you wanted to market your company, your coffee shop, your pizza joint, your brewery, you had to buy advertising. Somebody else had an audience, a mailing company, a radio station, a TV. You had to buy their audience. Well, here we are in 2021, and you don't have to do that. Facebook is free. Instagram is free. LinkedIn's free. YouTube's free. I want a phone right now with a portable light and a $5 tripod. And restaurants aren't taking advantage of this tactic to build and cultivate an audience that know, likes, and trusts them, to talk to them more often. And it amazes me that they aren't taking action.
We totally agree. We're on the same page as you. We can't believe it either. I mean, COVID has changed everything, hasn't it? I mean, we find that people have embraced technology and everything a lot easier than pre-pandemic. For us, it was very difficult to get people to Skype call us pre-pandemic, whereas now everybody knows how to use Zoom. Yeah. So how do you feel that that COVID has changed things?
I think it's been a godsend from a marketing standpoint, because it's forced people to embrace things they hadn't before. Online ordering, mobile-friendly websites, the QR code. And we were using the QR code like 7 years ago, and customers are like, what's this weird-looking QR code? What do I do with it? And even restaurants, up until the 2 or 3 months before the pandemic, the QR code was known by consumers as native on phones. Restaurants still hadn't embraced it.
Yeah.
And so I think it's forced people. Like they always say, like there's certain things that force you to take action. If I'm in an airplane with a parachute on, but I don't really want to jump out, somebody pushes me, I guess I'm parachuting.
Yeah.
I think the pandemic did that. It forced a lot of businesses to say, okay, like over here in the States, I need to embrace third party. I need to embrace to-go food. I need to embrace online ordering. I need to embrace all these things. But what's cracked me up the most is that a lot of these tools they've embraced have done one really important thing. They've collected data. And now these restaurants have a swimming pool full of data that's just got a cover on it and nobody's swimming in it.
Yeah, that's a really good analogy actually. There's so many, all these third-party apps that people have signed up for. If you're not careful, they take the data off you. So as an owner, you don't get access to that. In some of them we've seen, you've actually got to pay extra to get that data off. So you need to be really, really careful. But why is it you think that people can't see the benefit of email marketing? Because we've done it in our business. 12 years ago, we got to about 5,500 email lists. We were just regularly, and we could see people coming in. They walk in off the street with, holding their phone with their with our email on it, but I can't. We struggle to sell that to our clients. It's just bananas. Why do you think they're so resistant? People are so resistant to doing it in our industry.
I don't know that I think it's a combination of resistance, and also they're a little scared. We all get emails, and we all think, I don't want to be that email that bugs me. And we don't do things out of the concern for the minority. And what I see this a lot. Like, I take a lot of action. I do a lot of live content. I walk on stage at conferences. I've not prepared a speech. I know and love what I do. Yes, I'm going to make mistakes, but I take action. I work fast. I've got a friend of mine that when he goes on speech, like, you would think he's getting ready to be like detained by the government and questioned for 4 days how much he prepares his answers and questions. And it's because he's scared to make a mistake. And one thing I've always told a lot of my clients and a lot of people I've coached through the years is take action fast. Don't worry about the mistakes. Focus on the majority. I mean, video is a great example. I mean, we talk about email. The number one thing that people watch on their phones on the internet revolves around food and drinks. And coffee shops that you guys deal with that probably don't do any live video. If I owned a coffee shop, every morning before I opened, I'd pop on there and go, what's up? It's time for morning coffee. Today I'm drinking XYZ. I just got done reading this book. Let's talk about a topic. All I'm trying to do is get in their phone, get their attention. It's actually the first chapter, one of the first topics in the book is how to get attention and awareness. Yeah. But I think that the reason people haven't embraced video and email and text, and they haven't embraced a lot of stuff, is they're scared to take action and have, instead of 1,000 people get a message that resonates, 2 people get it that don't like it. And so they're on that path, like, I'm just not going to do it. And I'm like, wow, you're leaving a lot of money on the table. And what's really huge, and I told a restaurateur this yesterday down here in North Carolina, we're on the road in our Mercedes Sprinter van for America's Best Restaurants. And I said, dude, what's exciting to me is that 9.9 out of 10 of your competitors within a mile of here aren't doing it either. So now is your chance. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The time's today. Let's start digging.
Yeah, I would totally agree. The same over here. We talk to owners all the time, our clients and people. Oh, I don't want to do a video. I don't want to do a Facebook Live, or I don't want to. I'm too nervous. They don't want to see me. They don't, But that's what they want to see. They want to know the human side. Yeah. They want to know the face. They want to recognize you. They want to, the more natural you are, the more unpolished you are.
It's actually our biggest weapon in our armory. Is that personal touch of the independent owner. It's something that big chains just can't deal with. It's impossible and it's such a frustration for us as well. So that's why I like the book, because it really gives you some real good pointers on, I love your 5 ways of marketing on page 22, the mass marketing, et cetera, what you say, mass marketing, grassroots marketing, forwards marketing, social media, and direct marketing. Those are the only 5 ways you can do it, but you need to embrace 1 or 2 of them at least.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to take action. You mentioned that operator. There's a coffee shop down the street from my house. I drive 15 minutes to get to. Yeah, I pass 15 coffee shops to get there, but I like what Tracy has at Reality Tuesdays. And she's got a good coffee shop. She's independent. It's her business. Her husband makes her ex-husband makes the pastry. She makes the coffee and runs a business. And it's kind of funny when I say he works overnights making the pastry. She works during the coffee shop. The Dunkin' Donuts down the street, yes, it's a franchise, but it's a franchise by a person that owns 30 of them. And you're a number. Get in line, give me your order, get the heck out of my drive-thru, see you later. You walk into her shop, there's a smile, them. And I tell people all the time, that's your competitive advantage. I can buy coffee anywhere. I can buy pizza anywhere. I want to go where I know I'm making an impact. And the problem is consumers don't know that. They don't know that. They think that every coffee shop, every restaurant is probably owned by some guy or lady that live in a high rise that make millions of dollars. Well, the minute they all of a sudden see on Instagram or Facebook that, this is Kelly, this is Tom, this is Michael, they own the place. This is their employees behind them. Hey, why is this? I was in a restaurant today and they had a special. It was called like the Tim's meatloaf or something. and it was based on one of the employees' name is Tim. We went to a Greek restaurant this morning, and they have a bowl that was named after, was it Pam? And after Pam. And Pam was a customer that used to come in and order a really specific bowl. Customers came in that knew Pam, like, hey, I want the bowl that Pam gets. She said she comes here every day. They named it Pam.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So you can tell those stories. That's what is Starbucks a big thing over where you guys are at?
Yeah, it is. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, their coffee sucks. I don't get it. I don't drink there. But at the same time, a lot of people are drinking there. They're supporting a business that has no face and will never have a face to it. So if you're a mile away from a Starbucks, you've got to use what you can differentiate yourself, and your differentiator is you, is your employee, is the support.
Exactly. You've nailed it.
Yeah.
It's the independent operator. It's you. So by getting behind a video, by emailing, so that people know who you are. We used to find that, didn't we, when we had our coffee shops? They'd walk in and say, "Oh, hi, Andrew."
Yeah, even though we never met them, we're like old friends.
Yep.
And again, I think we were early adopters. I used to do that Facebook Live thing every Saturday morning. What's the weather like? What's the traffic like? What's that little sparrow doing on the roof? Anything. It's a funny shaped cloud.
If it was snowing, look, they cleared the roads. Come on in, sort of thing.
Oh, I mean, think about a lot of these independent coffee shops have pastries. You know what? Yeah. Hey, it's Matt. I've got my cup of coffee. I've got Highlander grog this morning. You know what? Because I want my donut socks. I want the donut today. Here's the donut. Did you know we make these in-house? Did you know that XYZ Bakery down the street makes these for us? You can highlight a different pastry every day, a different coffee. And all you're trying to do is get somebody's awareness. If the more times, like I've been telling people this, I've probably done about 30 interviews like this for the new book. And I talk about awareness, impressions, that if I have if I have a coffee shop and I get Andrew and Claire's attention 100 times this year, it's going to influence a certain number of visits. Let's say that's 5 visits. Yeah. If I get your attention 1,000 times, I might get 25 visits. If I get it 2,000 times. So how do I get attention? By going in their phone.
Yeah.
I've got a 19-year-old. I've got a 17-year-old. I got a 45-year-old wife. Hold up. She's 44. It's like 2 weeks.
Careful.
I've got a mom and dad who are in their mid-70s. Everybody's on their phone.
Yeah.
So whether it's email or text or messenger or Facebook video or Instagram Reels or TikTok or LinkedIn or YouTube, it's all of it's free.
Yeah.
There's ways to spend money to increase it, but it's still at the basic level, all of it's free. And that's comical that so many people are complaining about business, complaining about things happening. It's like, you've been given a bunch of tools. Use them at a high level, then complain.
Yeah, totally agree.
What I like about the book as well is you talk about the return on investment, because you can really the method that you suggest, you can really work out. It's not rocket science to work out that return, but actually one thing that even makes that return even better is that lifetime value of a customer that people forget. So they forget that customer comes in once a day and it's $3, $4, but actually it's
over a lifetime.
Yeah, $1,000 a year, 10,000 in their lifetime. So the actual cost of acquiring a customer is very low. It's a couple of dollars a customer there. By the look at you, just work some simple maths. Yeah.
So in the book, by the way, before I forget to mention this later on, it's on Amazon right now for $6.99. I was negotiating with Amazon to find the lowest possible amount we can put it on there, because it's $25 is where they want it. And what if I put it, what's the lowest I can put it at where I don't make a penny? You guys keep it all, but that people can get it for a limited time. It's at $6.99. So it's on there for $6.99. Amazon, just look up Matt Plapp, Restaurant Marketing That Works. But the book talks about 5 principles: how to get awareness, how to build a database from that awareness, how to have a trackable process after the database is built to monetize it, to know that, hey, I got 1,000 people to give me their email address and their phone number and their birthday. Did any of them walk in and spend money? And if so, how much? So that you're on the right path. It's kind of like weight loss journey. You go to the gym for 6 months, you get on the scale every week. You want to say, oh crap, I lost a pound. Heck yeah. I might not eat pizza again this week. And so it's the same thing. It's giving you positive attribution that you're on the right path. And then after that, it's get more data, find out more information about him. Is Matt a light roast? Is he a dark roast? Is he one of these crazy cappuccinos? Does he drink espresso? Does he also get croissants or donuts? And then after that, having conversations on a weekly basis that's relative to them. But the big thing within there in ROI is the number one objection I hear from restaurateurs is I can't afford to give away something for free to give them the data. And I'm like, you're wrong. You can't afford not to do it, because Matt Plapp, if I come to Reality Tuesdays is a good example. It's a coffee shop I like, a coffee shop I support, but I don't go there often enough because it's not near me. Now, if they hit my name, phone number, and email, and every once in a while shot me a message and knew that I hadn't been in 4 days and it said, Matt, what's up? Highlander Grog misses you. I'd be like, damn, I got to go to Reality Tuesday. They don't do it. So they probably, because they don't have my data, they might get, let's say 52 weeks a year. They probably get 70 visits from me.
Yeah.
I drink coffee every day. I drink a cup every morning when I read. I typically get up, go somewhere, get a cup and read. I got 4 or 5 coffee shops I go to. The only one I go to is not independent. It's a Panera down the street because it's on the way to my house occasionally. I do hit there occasionally, not much. But that's, let's say 70 times a year I go to Reality Tuesdays. If they reached out and invited me, a picture of some Highlander grog with a little steam coming off. Matt, look forward to seeing you this week. Have a great week. Here's a motivation. Here's an inspirational quote to end your Sunday in a great way. Now all of a sudden I'm like, oh, that sounds good tomorrow. And so now all of a sudden, because they did that, I'm coming another 20 or 30 times. And so what I always tell clients is the short-term value of somebody's information is on a low end $10. That if somebody gives you their phone number, because I like to get visit frequency, name, phone number, email, and birthday. If I get those items on a low end, it's worth $10. So if I get it, and now Matt was going to come 10 times this year, but he comes 30, or let's say he comes 15, but he keeps coming in 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. It multiplies, and it's incremental profits.
It is truly amazing. I mean, we did a piece of research on our independent coffee shop.
We got a Facebook group with 1,500 people in our independent coffee shop owners, and 85% of them either didn't collect emails, or if they didn't do anything with them. So only 15% said they did anything at all.
So let me ask you a question. How long have you guys been married?
Well, hang on.
There's some flowers in the background. Can you see those, Matt?
Yeah.
Lovely flowers.
Is that anniversary?
There we are. There. 34 years on last Sunday.
Hey, you remembered.
I love it. So 2 weeks ago was my 22nd wedding anniversary, and my wife and I have been together 26. And I told somebody this the other day on a podcast. I said, if you're a restaurant that's not asking for your customers' information, you're losing the opportunity to get married to your customers long term. Because my wife, Christy, when I met her at college, the third time I got to see her, I asked for her phone number. We started dating.
Yeah.
We got married. It goes down a whole path. And so it's the same thing in the restaurant business.
Yeah, I love that, Anna. I love that. Yeah, that's
you want to. Everybody wants to marry their customers, but they want to have. They're all doing one night stands because they're not getting their name. I don't know about your part of the world, but over here in the States, 85% of people that walk in and out of a restaurant and give them money will not be in any type of database that they use on a consistent basis. 5%. I mean, that's a lot of one night stands.
I mean, from our bit of research we just said, it's staggering.
Was that the number with yours too?
Yeah,
it's absolutely staggering.
Yeah, but interestingly as well, I sign up everywhere I go, because what we do, I sign up. If I see something there, if it's not very well done, I'll sign up. Or if I visit a website before we visit them, I'll sign up. But I get no emails from anyone.
Yeah. Well, we do that to see what happens, to see what people are doing out there. But it's truly amazing.
In our clients will say, I signed up on your form. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, good. That's good. Thanks. How many have you got? I'll have a look now. I've got a couple of hundred. But, they do nothing with it. It's because it's on the form. It's on the Wix thing or whatever. So listen, was it $6.99? Your book. Yeah, I think that's a fantastic investment. We'll put the link on the bottom of the of this post when it goes out for everyone to go to Amazon. So yeah, you'll be able to get that overnight almost on Amazon. Yep. Before we came on air, we were talking about your American Best Restaurant. That sounded really, really something massive. Yeah. Do you want to give us a quick? Because this sounds like this sounds like a John Taffer type thing. I think we got a baby John Taffer here.
So about 3 years ago, when I was traveling the States doing food shows, speaking for my first book, the one thing that I kept coming across was that restaurants were in need of a place to get attention. That the top 2 places in the United States that restaurants are found by consumers are Yelp and Google. The negative with that is they do not control the narrative. Yelp and Google have their positives and negatives like any business. But from a restaurant standpoint, if people are finding you in one place on a very high level, but you don't control what's on there, the pictures, the images, the reviews, then all of a sudden it's a different world. So I said, well, what if I could create a place that people could find restaurants that we call, I say restaurants. We also just did a couple coffee houses at a great place for croissants on the street and coffee last week. I said, what if we could find a way to list and catalog and tell the stories of the places that consumers need to visit every week? And so we created an avatar, a profile, and said, okay, we want to visit locally owned and operated. I don't want to go to the place that a guy or a woman owns 40 locations and I've never had them. I want to go to the place where I can walk in and see an Andrew, or I can walk in and see a Claire. And so like we're actually sitting in the parking lot of a restaurant right now that we're shooting an episode. So what we did was I set out on a plan. We started creating it. This year we launched the first van back in June, July. Second one comes online in a week in Idaho. The vision is for 50 vans, one in every state within 5 years, that go around and interview operators about their location. Our big thing is we're there. Tell us about your location. Tell me 3 items I've got to try if I come here every week. And then we go in the kitchens, we see them get made, or we see the coffee, we hear about it. We sit down, we talk about that item, we go on our way. And so we're in a Mercedes Sprinter van now that's got TV on each end. It's got a really cool ceiling on here. You can see a couple of my team members are here, my camera guy, camera crew. We're going to go in there and shoot. But that's what we're doing. And I'm on a mission that I think we can, within 3 to 4 years, be putting out about 25,000 episodes. I mean, do the math. We're like, this is our 12 restaurants I've visited myself this week. And we have crews that alternate every week. That's one van. If we hit, 500 restaurants a year, and next thing you know, and there's 50 vans, and in a couple of years, we're going to have a lot of stuff out there. We're going to be able to help restaurateurs, coffee shops, you name it, be found on a consistent basis and with the narrative they want, and also on video, because that's the best way to tell your story.
Yeah, I totally agree. And also, you'd be feeding yourself for the year as well. So
you don't realize how hard it is until you go to 7 restaurants from 9 a.m. to like 7 p.m. 2 days. Yesterday? It was Wednesday. Yesterday, we started in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, at a place called Time Out, and the food was unbelievable. Like, you couldn't pass up. I'm like, okay, I know I'm going to regret this, but I'm eating everything he gave me. The chicken cheddar biscuit and the cinnamon roll and some coffee. I'm going to eat it, drink it, and then 45 minutes later, you're at another restaurant. Then an hour at another restaurant. So you got to pace yourself, and sometimes we get out of control a little.
You'll have to run to each restaurant to work it off.
Sprint in front of your Sprinter.
So we can say, hey, we're going to alternate who drives, everybody else runs.
You got it.
No, that's awesome. That is such a really, really great thing to do. I just hope that the restaurants you invest your time in actually grasp the nettle and understand and take the best of it and start doing their best for themselves. Yep. That's awesome. What you've got there, Matt, is amazing.
Yeah.
And
you'll like this too. And everybody gets a welcome bag. And in the bag, one of the items in here is a camera tripod.
Yeah.
The importance of shooting video content. We give them 50 pins because the servers and people always need pins. Some different things in here from the brand.
Yeah.
Well
done. Do you get an orange T-shirt as well?
You do. You thought you caught me. Did you get an orange?
Hey. Well, Matt, it's been a real pleasure to catch up with you. Yeah. And as I said, we'll put all the links to the book and to your YouTube channel for America's Best Restaurant in the comments. And we look forward to speak to you again, and all the best, and keep safe.
Yeah.
Next time we got to get the graphic on the screen with both of you at the bottom versus just
Yes.
Yeah.
Andrew stole the limelight. He's got
I
to
might,
you got for TV.
I might change that in post-production.
There we go.
Yeah, there might be an extra little picture there.
We'll see you. Happy anniversary.
Yeah. Cheers.
All right.
Thanks,
Take
Matt.
care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.